Hello, welcome to another midweek message. Do you know, it's not nice today. The temperature's 6 degrees. Where are we? It's 10:30, Tuesday morning. What's the date? 14th of March, 23. 6 degrees centigrade, which is 43 Fahrenheit. Was it 43 or 8? I can't remember now. 73% humidity, 1004 millibars on the barometer. I've just been out into the garden cementing a few bricks in place for our raised vegetable plot, and it's cold, even wrapped up properly. It's very cold out there. I hate it. Middle of March, it should be a lot warmer than this, shouldn't it? I don't know what goes on with these seasons. I'm always asking Trish, where are we? When spring start? When does winter end? I can't remember. Clocks go back. No, they don't. They go forward. End of this month. Spring forward, fall back later in the year. Okay, Gary, nice to hear from you. Have you all heard about this Gary Lineker thing? Funny enough, this chap's name is Gary as well, that's emailed me. Gary Lineker, the BBC, you must have heard that all around the world. I don't know what happened. I won't go into all that. But Gary has emailed me and he's had an idea, because he says the BBC are short of money and we've got this licence fee to pay. Do you pay a licence fee where you are, outside the UK? It's, 150 something pounds a year. Gary's suggestion is the BBC should stop doing news on the telly, keep it on the radio, stop having TV news. Think of the millions that would save a year. The studio, the presenters, the people, all the newsrooms, everything. Get rid of the news, because there are so many news channels. That's a good point, Gary. So many news channels. Do we need the BBC? They could do their sport still, but concentrate, this is Gary's point, concentrate on drama. Soaps, he's put it. No, we don't need more soaps, Gary. We've got enough of those. But drama, documentaries, anything like that. Just forget the news. You can get news online. There's stuff everywhere. There's news, 24-hour news channels, aren't there? All over the place. So good thought, Gary. I wonder what the rest of you think about that. Oh, Gary also reckons that every news channel is biased. I won't comment on that, Gary, but I'm not sure. They reckon this one's biased that way and that one's biased this way. I don't know. But at the end of his email, one last question. Was the news in the old days, by that I suppose you mean the 50s and 60s, was it biased back then? There was only the BBC and ITV. ITV came along, on the television? 56, was it? 1956. Before that, there was only the BBC. I was never aware, as a youngster, teenager, 20s, I was never aware of any obvious bias on ITV or BBC. Remember, there was no one else. There wasn't GB News. There wasn't Sky. Over here, we couldn't get CNN, Reuters and all that lot. It was BBC and ITV. Wasn't aware of any bias. What I was aware of, well, looking back, I'm now aware of what it was like then. The newsreader would read the news. He'd say, for example, the Prime Minister this morning did blah, blah, blah. And that was it. He's read the news. Whereas these days, he would say, the Prime Minister this morning did blah, blah, blah. And I think it's a stupid thing to do. What's the matter with the man? So we didn't have comments from newsreaders on their thoughts, or I think this and I think that. They just read the news, especially the BBC news. What was it? News at 6 o'clock, wasn't it, on telly? News at 6 o'clock. I think ITV started the news at 10. Didn't the BBC also have a 9 o'clock news bulletin? That's all they were. They were news bulletins, really. The headlines, a little bit about this and that. None of this business, oh, well, I think that you should vote for them. You don't want to vote for that lot. You should vote for this lot. I don't know. It was very different back then. So hopefully that answers your question, Gary. I'm sure there were people within news organisations that were biased one way or another, but I don't know. Funny old world, isn't it? Oh, by the way, I nearly forgot. The Rants Facebook page, I'm thinking of doing away with it. I've had so much trouble with Facebook recently. Well, not trouble with them, but the pages are full of adverts. You go to your, I don't know what you call it, your home page or whatever. I have to scroll down to find what friends and family have put, what they've written, what pictures they've put on. It's just full of adverts and all sorts of stuff that comes up. I can't cope with it. I'm thinking of getting rid of Facebook altogether. And apparently, allegedly, from what I've read, There's all this tracking that they do and data collecting. I've just had enough of Facebook. So I'm thinking, I'm not going to do it immediately, but I'm thinking of doing away with the Ray's Rants Facebook page. Let me know what you think about that. Ray's Rants at protonmail.com. Ray's Rants, all one word, at protonmail.com. Still got this cold, still bunged up. Perhaps I ought to drink a bottle of whiskey. I don't like whiskey. Just the smell of it makes me feel ill. So anyway, there we are. I like real ale. We won't go into that. Look after yourselves, and I will see you on Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye for now.